So they call it the music capital of the world, which it is, and there's so much music that you could go to a grocery store and there'll be a band playing for you in certain grocery stores. You can go down 6th Street, there's music everywhere.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere downtown, you're going to find music. And I think people visit to see the live music. So there's a lot of musicians here, a lot of people in bands that play instruments.
Melting Pot, a global podcast series hosted by Pyle, connects guests who have inspiring stories and reaches out to a multicultural audience over 52 countries. Guests are diverse, such as celebrities, entrepreneurs, travelers, and many more who've had a turning point in their lives and moved over to a holistic lifestyle. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, social media.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Melting Pot episode. Today, I'm in conversation with Kim Middleton. And Kim is talking to me from Austin, Texas, and she is a professional DJ. Thank you so much for joining me today, Kim.
Thanks for having me.
So Kim, a little bit about your background. Is Austin your home, or do you come from another part of the U.S.?
I was born in Bryan, College Station, Texas, which is about 2 hours from Austin. And then when I was 10, we moved to Hollywood, Florida, which is Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. And I went to school from middle school, high school, college, and technical school. And I just moved to Austin when I was 32. So that's about maybe 10 years ago.
Interesting. And what sort of made you move to Austin?
My sister lived here. They were attending UT, University of Texas. And she said, this is the music spot. You have to be here, because I was always a DJ. And she just kept on, you really need to be here. It's the musical capital of the world. So I sold my condo in Florida and I moved to Austin.
Okay, nice. And you clearly don't regret that. So
everyone's like, oh, you love South Florida. I'm like, well, I have plenty of work here in Austin. So
yeah, I guess you have, you can always go back to south of Florida, but, since you're so passionate about music and about being a DJ, and Austin is the place to be in, why not? So what really inspired for you to become a DJ, and a little bit about the early influences that you may have had for you to sort of say that, okay, this is really what I want to be doing for the rest of my life?
So I had no idea really what a DJ was. I was in college for mass communications and I was going to become a journalist. And I would go into the career center once a week and I kept seeing this radio station posted. We need people. We need to get entry-level people into the station. And I would actually get mad. I'm like, is this the only thing that fits mass communications? I want to be a journalist. Well, what happened was I went to the mall one day and that one radio station actually grabbed me and said, you'd be perfect to work here. I said, oh, no. I work somewhere else. I work at Motorola. I'm making good money and I know what I want to be. And I happened to go the following weekend again and the same radio station was there. And he's like, you need to come. I think you'd be a perfect fit. Like I said, we're looking for young college students that full of energy. And I guess he thought that I would be perfect for the job. And I said, well, if I can keep my regular job, go to school and work for you, then I'll be there. And he said, yeah, we can make that happen.
Wow. So when the radio station kind of said, no, you come and work with us, were there any special techniques that you needed to know before you? So when you were at the radio station, were you DJing for them, or were you a radio jockey, or what exactly is it that you were doing? And what kind of technical skills did you need to pick up?
Okay, so I started in music research, which I would call people and I would let them know, hey, do you like this song on the radio? Like, we try to get votes with the public that were listeners to see what we could keep playing, that was popular. So I started from that entry level. I become assistant manager with under my manager when she was out. And then from there, I worked my way into the studio, and I would sleep overnight, like till 5 a.m. And I was trained how to do the music board, which is a big production board. So I basically did the music research and worked my way into the studio. And every night, like, I worked the night shift and then the morning shift, the DJs would mix live, and I would hear that for hours.
Right. So it was more self-learning rather than actually going into a school that taught you to become a professional DJ. That's interesting. And tell my listeners and me a little bit about your the techniques that you use as a DJ, some of the prep work that you need to do. How do you decide what kind of a set you're going to play? Some essentially the process of what goes into you from or what's the process from when you get a gig to you are actually at the gig?
Okay, so basically, it's a lot of marketing and a lot of word of mouth. So I've been doing this since 1998, and I've been in Austin about 10 years. So word of mouth, recommendations, and marketing every day. And then I'll get phone calls and emails. They'll want to see how much I charge, what I book, if I can play this type of music. It could be country, it could be reggae, it could be Latin. I play it all. And I'll tell them yes, and I'll send them a quote. If they book with me, we write out a contract, I write it out, and they approve it. And then either they'll send a deposit or I'll waive the deposit, depending if it's like short notice or anything. And I work on their music probably about a week, making sure I have everything that I think they want to hear. And then I mix in my personal style just from reading the crowd. Mm. So, and I have to look at everyone's age. Like, if it's a wedding, there's 4-year-olds, there's 60-year-olds, there's 80-year-olds. So I have to make everybody dance and have a good celebration for that bride and groom. And like for the concert after Sheryl Crow, it was a diverse crowd. So I need to go to what songs can hit every country, every ethnicity. So my go-to first was Whitney Houston. I want to dance with somebody, and that worked. So I just look at songs that I know work and that I think everybody knows.
Right.
And you just buy what you're comfortable with, and you kind of teach yourself. That's what I do, and that's what other DJs do. Some people will pay a DJ school, but most, you just mess around with the equipment and you figure it out.
Yeah. And then I think, obviously, because I would think that the equipment is really your best friend, right? Because, the connection that you need to have with the equipment and, of course, more importantly, with the music is probably critical, right? If you're, DJing for after a concert. So you've come with a pre-decided sort of set, okay? Oh, you don't? Okay, that was my question, really.
I prepared. That's what really makes me different from other DJs. They'll have something prepared. I go in like artwork, blind, and I start going. So I don't prepare.
That was my question, really, because I think if you did prepare and then you saw that the crowd was actually looking at the vibe was very different, then on the spot to change the music around needs, I think, in my opinion, probably a different kind of a skill set, right? So so you go completely with your music, and then you gauge the audience, the vibe, the reaction to your first couple of sets, and then you kind of play along with that. That's
Yeah.
fascinating. That's fascinating.
'Cause I didn't know who was gonna be at that concert. I didn't even know how many people. And you would assume, well, let me play Sheryl Crow type music. But no, like you guys wanted the energy, like she has great energy, but you wanted like move and dance and
So you basically want the energy to continue, and probably probably go even higher, and then obviously as the evening progresses. Yeah, that's interesting. So how do you stay updated with the latest music? I mean, the trends, technology, software, because there's a constant change, right? And it's very, very rapid, especially with technology. So how do you really stay abreast with it?
so basically, what I'm learning is the new music is coming from the 20-year-old crowds. I'm 44, so I need to keep up with that. And I'm trying to find what they like to listen to, because I do a lot of younger nightclub events. So, and then basically, I have these music polls that I pay monthly for, and they give you the top hits. And also, Spotify helps. Like they have the top curated like lists, what's really hot. And I also go on to radio stations that are local, radio stations that are in Florida. So I know what everybody's listening to. I'll just pick different states and I'll see what's like consistent and what certain crowds like. So it's a lot of research.
Yeah, yeah.
Weekly, sometimes daily. It's really, when I wake up, I'm writing emails to like before until I go to bed. I'm always working.
Yeah, but obviously you're so passionate about it that it's sort of ingrained in your very being, right? Have you thought of producing your own music ever?
Yes, I have a song. It's 30 seconds long. And I wrote it and I worked with the artist and he maybe changed a couple of words and I had him rap it for me. But it's just like a promo. It's a high energy song talking about DJ Kimmy K. Are you ready to party? But as far as like a song like beats or someone singing over it, that's like a long process to learn that program. And I have to set aside time to do that or hire a producer, but I have thought about it.
You have thought about it. Okay. So yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if it's possible for you to the 30 seconds to just sing it, rap it. I don't know if you can, if you want to do it, it would be so much fun.
Yeah, I think I remember the words.
Okay, so let's hear it.
Okay, it goes, DJ Kimmy K, your number one female DJ from Miami to Austin. You know that she brings the heat, the best of the best. Nobody else can compete. Get the party going. Let me see your hands. One time for DJ Kimmy K, and it goes DJ Kimmy K, DJ Kimmy K, DJ Kimmy K. Let me see your hands.
Wow.
And some other sentences, but I don't remember it all.
Wow, that's so cool.
And people have danced to it, not even knowing that's my song.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Name.
That's nice. That's nice. So what is the most rewarding aspect of being a DJ for you?
I get to go and make people happy for 4 hours or whatever it is, to de-stress. People have a lot of stress. Some might be unhappy. and they hear their favorite song and they're happy for that hour or so. And it's a lot of positive energy. Like I try to keep my music clean, high energy, and make everyone feel happy for that moment.
Austin, you know, I mean, I've recently been to Austin and actually heard your set and your gig, and it was just so much fun. But the kind of energy that that city has is just mind blowing. And tell me a little bit about the music scene. I mean, who was like some of the, because it, you know, whenever you think of Austin, Texas, there are so many people who are in Hollywood, who musicians who are from Austin, you know, so what, just a little bit of a background to Austin, because now you've lived there 10 years, especially with the music industry.
So they call it the music capital of the world, which it is. And there's so much music that you could go to a grocery store and there'll be a band playing for you in certain grocery stores. You can go down 6th Street, there's music everywhere.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere downtown, you're going to find music. And I think people visit to see the live music. So there's a lot of musicians here, a lot of like people in bands that play instruments, and they all come here to like live the dream, because the energy is just so good for music here. And Austin City Limits is here, which I've got to perform about 4 times. And it's a huge festival where people come all over the world, as well as South by Southwest, which I've DJ'd also, another huge music festival.
Yeah, yeah. So so is there space for all the musicians, you know, or is it like very competitive? Because obviously, you know, okay, different genres have their own space, right? Their clubs or wherever they may be performing live. But is it very competitive?
I'd say there's enough work for everyone, but as far as like DJs go, it's competitive in the nightclubs because everybody wants that one spot at a club where they're consistent.
Yeah.
And they know I'm here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday. So once a new place opens, it's competitive. Like, so because clubs only need maybe like 5 or less DJs to run that club. So, but as far as like corporate events, people also want to be in that space, and I'm in that space. So it's just a give and take, but there's work for everybody.
There is work for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's so important. Any you know, any words for listeners who may be in the music space, young listeners, and who are probably looking at DJing as you know, as a career, but are skeptical because, you know, it's very, it's like being an actor, or, you know, it's so competitive. You're not sure whether financially, it takes several years to really build yourself like you have done. So do you have any kind of thoughts that you would like to share with the young listeners that I may have?
Yes, I actually met with a young up and coming producer. He's 16 and it was in Miami, and I encouraged him and I worked with him. So you can start at any age. It can be 12, it can be 60. But the thing that separates people that are successful in the business is you've got to eat, sleep, breathe. You've got to want to do this every second. And if you have to sacrifice eating macaroni and cheese for a week, I've been through all of that, then you have to sacrifice. That's just if you really, really want it. I'd say get into a school, network like crazy. Pick some mentor or somebody that you like locally, start locally, and ask them if they'll help you or give you advice. And then also, YouTube your favorite DJs, and just do all you can to get to know people and learn, read, and you've got to put 100% into it, or you're not going to be where you want to be.
Yeah. So you can't just dream about it. You need to put in a lot of effort. And I appreciate the fact that, you kind of put in so much effort to make people happy, because it's not easy. You work nights, and then during the day, as you mentioned yourself, there's so much promotion, marketing that needs to go into it, plus the research, plus all of that. It's like a 24/7, and but you bring happiness to people, and I think that is so, so important. So thank you so much for chatting with me, and I hope to see you soon.
Yes, thank you.
For more weekly conversations, do listen to Melting Pot on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Follow us on YouTube and on Instagram at Podcast Melting Pot. So until the next episode, this is Payal signing off.